Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications on the videos I post out there for you guys. And for those of you who are subscribed, thank you very much. You are keeping me motivated to be putting out more videos for you guys out there. So today I am going to be reviewing this new palette by Rihanna Fenty Beauty Galaxy Eyeshadow Palette. This palette retails for $59. I got this at my local Sephora. I will do the swatches and I am also going to demonstrate what you can do with this palette. But first, let me give you all of the 411 on it that you might want to know. So this is what the unit carton looks like. All of the shadows and their names are listed in the back. On the front we have this beautiful Fenty written in glitter. Also it's kind of a sleek, oily kind of packaging. It kind of looks really cool. I'm going to pull this palette out. It also has this protective black carton around this. And this is what the actual palette looks like. So again, we have all of the eyeshadows listed in the back. Here on the front it says Fenty Beauty. It has really expensive, rich feel to it. It is a heavy palette. I do like that. For some people it might be inconvenient if you don't like heavy palettes or packaging. That might be an issue. I actually happen to like this type of packaging. This is a limited edition glitter eyeshadow palette of 14 star dusted shades designed to accessorize any eye look. Launch your eye look into a new glitter sphere with a limited edition Galaxy Eyeshadow Palette. Hyper reflective sparkle meets a rainbow of 14 celestial inspired colors that range from sheer glittering top coats to smoky shimmer directed hues. Like jewelry for your eyes, these glimmering eyeshadows and top coats are the ultimate accessory to every look. This sounds so delicious and good. I mean, it really does. The descriptions on some of these palettes and makeup have really taken us out there into the stratosphere. I really like what it sounds. It is very lucrative. It really makes you want to click that button and buy this palette. So from smoky, iridescent violet to gold glitter on mint, Galaxy is studded with unique color and glitter combos that deliver a phenomenal 3D effect, featured in a sleek, oversized jewel-inspired case. This transformative palette gives you infinite ways to get mega lit. Wow. Let's talk about the specs. This palette has 14 shades. Each contains 0.04 ounces or 1.4 grams of the product. Fenty Beauty products are 100% cruelty-free. Artistry tip: for more intense look, you might want to wet your brush. I'm going to show you how this palette swatches. So as usual, like I said, I would be swatching using my Urban Decay Primer Potion. That's how I prime my wrist, because that's how I prime my eyes. So in order to give it an equal opportunity to swatch well, that's what I do. Also, I swatch at first with a finger, then I swatch with a brush. I use a regular brush from like e.l.f. Cosmetics, and I swatch with a finger. I will be cleaning my brush in the color switch. The reason I swatch first with a finger then with a brush is because I want to show you how these shadows perform under those different situations. There is no doubt the right time to use the finger. There are some eyeshadows that actually perform better when you apply them with the finger, but not everybody uses that method, so we have to give them a fair chance. Now, done the swatches for these eyeshadows, let me talk to you a little bit about some of the individual colors and how they performed for me when I was swatching them. These are not your typical eyeshadows. They are not going to necessarily blend out or perform, so expecting that from them is pointless. You need to, if you really want to purchase this palette, you need to understand that this is the all glitter palette. This is not going to be one of those palettes when you have some mattes, when you have some dual chromes, when you have some shimmers, when you have some pearl eyeshadows. This is the exclusively, this is how Rihanna planned it. This is exclusively a glitter palette. So if you know what you're getting into and if you still want to get it, that's great. Why am I saying that? Is because when I was swatching it, I noticed that they swatch better with the finger versus the brush. I do not have a special brush. I am going to talk about that in a second. This palette, when it came out, she came out with other products as well. I did not purchase them. I find it a little bit silly to buy a special brush for a palette. The brush costs $24. I did not want to spend $24 on that specific brush for the glitters, but it's entirely possible that these would have swatched better with that particular brush. I'm just throwing this out there for you. Now let's talk about some of the individual swatches. Now, Extraterrestrial and Light Year, these colors swatch nearly identical on my arm. I'm not sure if it's because of my olive skin or because this is how they swatch, but when I was swatching them, and you can definitely see that on the swatches, this color right here, the Extraterrestrial, swatches not like it looks in the pan, so it doesn't perform the same. This looks green, actually quite beautiful, and yes, they have shift to them. They're not just one solid glitter. It's not like you're getting green glitter, orange glitter, red glitter. You are getting quite a bit of a shift. Maybe this is why it doesn't necessarily look the same on the swatches versus the pan. Here it's packed. Understand that here in the pans, these are packed tight, and so they do look more compressed. There is more pigment when you look at it in one big cube. But when you're swatching it on the arm, these two shadows right here, they swatch more like brown and brown with sparkles in them. Now, what I'm going to do is we are going to play with them, of course. No point in swatching these if I cannot recreate some sort of look, right? And we are going to see how these perform on my eyes. Yesterday I did play with them a little bit, so to get a feel basically for my brushes, because it is a little bit of a trial and error. You don't necessarily know which brush is going to work best for you, so you might want to play with some of your different brushes and see how things perform. Now, I am going to say this, that out of this palette, for me personally, I cannot just go ahead and create one look without using any other eyeshadows, because like I said earlier, this is strictly glitter palette. It's not going to give you everything you need. There are no mattes, there are no other types of textures that you might find in other palettes. I'm going to go into this palette right here. This is the Smashbox Drawn In, Decked Out. This is their holiday collection, so this is a limited edition. It's not going to be part of Smashbox, so whatever, I guess, while the supplies last. And I am going to go into some of the colors to kind of give myself a little bit of a transition shade. By the way, my eyelids are primed with the MAC Paint Pot in Ochre. So this is my trusted Wayne Goss number 4. And I'm going into the color, Nectar. And basically covering my entire lid with Nectar. Much better, much better. And we're going to go in and repeat the same for this eye. Now I'm going to go into the vanilla for my brow bone, again with the same brush. Now I will go into the almond and kind of define the crease a little bit here. What I'm going to go and do right now is go into the color Royal. I will switch my brushes and I'm going to go in with this Real Technique brush and kind of like place a little bit of that color right into the corner. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to close this palette, say bye Smashbox, I love you, but this isn't about Smashbox, it's about Rihanna's Galaxy, right? And I'm going to go into this palette right now. And let's see what colors I want to play with. Also, just to let you know, it is kind of hard to even decide what colors I want to use because they are very, very beautiful. These do look like jewels. It's really hard. I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm like, ooh, I want to use this and this and this, and how about this one? And I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and apply the Too Faced glitter glue. You don't have to do the glitter glue if you don't want to, but I personally find that with glitters, they tend to not want to stay on the eyelids as well because they are they are pieces and they want to sort of fall off. Or if you have hooded eyes, I would strongly advise to apply the glitter glue because each time you open your eyes, you run the risk that everything you applied on your lid is just going to end up on the upper part, underneath your eyebrow, right? Again, I am going to go ahead and go into this number 4 Winged Gauze. I just love this brush. This is like my go-to brush. I'm going to go into Sunburst. And I just want to kind of apply it above my crease. Above my crease, kind of like very close to the brow bone. And now I will go into the Midnight Bolt. Is this beautiful, absolutely beautiful, gorgeous blue. So what I'm doing right now is I am tucking that deep blue color into the corner, into the outer corner of my eyelid. Number 6 Winged Gauze. Notice how it kind of is flat. And what I'm going to do is I will go into the color Cosmic Ocean and I will basically pick it up onto the belly of the brush like that, and then picked up a ton of product. And now I'm just going to pack that on the inside portion of my lid. I'm going to use the Urban Decay setting spray to wet my brush. because I am not getting what I want to see, you know. It is very sparkly, but it's just not as intense. And I want more out of this blue. It seems to me like it can deliver better than it's been. And yes, absolutely. You see what I'm talking about? There's like immediately huge amount of payoff. I'll go into Jupiter Sand and I will basically tuck it under here. So right now I'm tucking in Jupiter Sand into my lower lid. Back I will go and apply some eyeliner. I will be back with my final words and verdict. So I am back. I had applied some mascara, some eyeliner, and I am going to now talk about pros and cons of this palette and deliver my verdict. We're going to start with the good stuff. This is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. This is beautiful. The weight, it feels luxurious. There is no doubt about that. All of these colors are absolutely gorgeous. Look at the presentation. They do look like jewels. This does look like it's a very artistic palette, and it's very, very festive, I should say. Now that we are going into the holiday season, Christmas is just, what, in 2 months? This is extremely festive palette. Will it make a great gift to somebody who loves glitters? Absolutely. This is amazing. I think that it looks and feels absolutely wow. You are going to be impressed. The packaging is very nice. The fact that they arranged them like diamonds instead of just putting them as usual arrangement like squares, I think it adds to the palette. This is 14 shades. They could have absolutely just organized them in 2 rows and it would have not looked as exciting as it looks right now. The unicarton of this palette is gorgeous. Names on the glitters, the names of this palette, I mean, they are something else entirely. It's Meteor Crush, Jupiter Sand, Mars on Fire, that's just phenomenal. Then we have Midnight Bolt, that's the one I applied in the corners of my eyes, the Space Out, and Sunburst. All of these names, I mean, they are absolutely exciting, makes you want to play with this palette. The amount of the product you're getting is, I would say it's an okay amount of the product you're getting, and it is a limited edition, so if you want to get it while it's still available, go ahead and do that, because there have been times when I wanted to get something that was a collab or limited edition and I felt like, wait, oh, it's gone, you know. So it really does, it sucks when something is gone and you wanted to get that and it's not there anymore. If you are a collector of eyeshadows, if you love glitters, go ahead and get this. You're not going to regret it. Now, let's talk about the cons and why would I come to my verdict the way I do. I'll explain that as well. The cons are that, number one, this is a expensive palette, $59. I said, "Gah," because you are only getting glitters. So in my book, you cannot do the entire look using this palette. You can't. Unless you want to look like a disco ball, which some people like that kind of look. They love glitter. I love glitter myself, but I still want to have something in here, like a transition shade, like basically I would absolutely say, yay, great, if it was a more regular palette. That's obviously not what she was trying to accomplish. She wanted to make an all glitter palette, which is fine. I mean, it's the choice and that's what she went with. She wanted to do that. And that's absolutely, it is kind of like its own standalone item. I said the price, it's a bit out there for what it is, $59. I can go and get Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism for less, what, $42, and I would get some glitters. I wouldn't get glitters, I would get some mattes and some shimmers with it, and I think I would be satisfied with the Prism. So I'm kind of comparing it to other palettes and other costs. Obviously, there are more expensive palettes out there. I mean, there's Marc Jacobs palettes and there is Natasha Denona, but I still feel like this is a bit on the pricier side for what I think it should cost. Maybe if it was $49.99, I would be much happier, but it is somewhat spendy for what I think you're getting. The other thing is that I wasn't able to complete this entire look just using this palette. And in my book, if I'm spending money on a palette, no doubt you don't have to just buy one palette and always use it for one same old look or just a couple of looks. You definitely can go ahead and use palettes here, 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 and have 10 palettes in front of you and pack those eyeshadows and create multi-dimensional look. It's your right, but I just want to be able to put this into my clutch, into my purse and pop it out, and just, it is extremely fashionable. I don't want it to just have glitters in it. The other con, I would say, because they are glitters, because there is a lot of people who have hooded eyes, and even when you don't have hooded eyes, you want to be able to use them and have them be user-friendly, is what I like to say. These will not blend, they are glitters. This is not something that will blend or behave in its normal manner. You absolutely should be using a glitter glue. You don't have to use Too Faced glitter glue. You can get any other glitter glue out there. But you have to have some kind of adhesive, which is okay for your eyes, of course, in order to be able to put these on and have them stay. Also, you might want to use like Fix Plus or some kind of a setting spray to wet your brush to be able to apply them when it's damp, because then you will get I think, more payoff of color if you apply them wet. What else? No, you cannot complete the entire look unless you love the whole glitter look and nothing but glitter using this palette. I had to go into the Smashbox palette. I also got dissatisfied even with what I was doing, and I opened up my Golden Hour by Viseart and I went into the Tuileries color and tuck it in here to give some more definition and dimension to my eyelids. That's how dissatisfied I was getting to. Plus, I got tons of fallout right here. I just got tons of fallout onto my nose and to all of this area right here, because I was trying to blend them and make them behave like a typical eyeshadow, which this is something they cannot do because they are glitters. And I kept forgetting that because I want to blend, right? But I couldn't. So I would say that unfortunately for Olga Guffey, this palette is not going to be approved. Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Galaxy Eyeshadow Palette is not Olga Guffey approved. No, it is too expensive. It's only glitters. It is absolutely wonderful and beautiful and absolutely dazzling, but in my book, it also has to be practical. And yes, I know, I collect eyeshadows as well, and I have lots of books of eyeshadows. Even though I collect them, I just cannot justify spending $59 on the palette full of glitters. Okay? That's my opinion. If you love this palette, if you are a die-hard collector, if you are a die-hard fan for Rihanna and her products, which I did approve her other products, they are great. If you really want to get your hands on it, absolutely, by all means. But if you are a regular user of eyeshadows, this might not be something you would want to spend $59 on. And just because there's so many other things. The other thing is, these days, like in the last couple of months, we had a ton of products. I mean, makeup industry has flooded the consumer with tons of different eyeshadow products out there. There is, I mean, we've seen what? just in the last couple of months, we've seen from Anastasia Beverly Hills, we've seen Subculture. Yes, I know, but I actually love it. Then we have Prism 2 months later. Then we have Rihanna with all new line, and I absolutely love the fact that she has Fenty products come with 40 shades of foundation. We have new Marc Jacobs palette. We have Tarte palettes. We have Too Faced has been coming out with tons of new things. We have Vizia art palettes coming out. We have, I don't mean to go ahead and mention, we have Kat Von D, the Saint and Sinner palette. We have so many things coming out there. We have tons of things. Plus we have all of the YouTubers, people who are coming out with their own palettes, like Laura Lee with Cat's Pajamas. We have Jeffree Star palettes. There is so many. We have Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. There is so many palettes. And if you look at all of the plethora of stuff that is coming out, you have so many choices. I don't know if you would want to necessarily spend on this. You might if you're a collector. Absolutely. Head out to Sephora, spend $59. But for me, I'm disappointed somewhat because I cannot complete the entire eye look. And it feels so luxurious. I feel like I want to carry this in my purse and almost brag with it, hey, I have this, and be able to go in and do my entire look in a car or something as a passenger, okay, not as a driver, and just be able to use this entire look, entire palette for my one look, have everything here. But I can't, and because of that, it's not so much even the money, even though the money is playing the part in my decision. It's the fact that I cannot use this palette versatilely, and I cannot create a look out of one palette, and that's the reason why it's not approved. And plus, there's just so much glitter, but that's my decision. So with all of that said, guys, please let me know in the comment section down below if you want me to review any particular brand, any particular product that interests you. I will do the research for you, and I will go ahead and buy the product, and I will review it on this channel and give you all of the 411 on it. With all of that said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. I love you. Bye!